So it's day 73 and I just hit level 90, which is great. But I don't have a single character above level 75. Why? Well, if you've been watching my beginner guide series, you'd know that I like to try and play this game as efficiently as possible. Only invest in characters when it's necessary. Never spend more than 1,075,000 gold per day. Well, this boosted account stuff is out of control. By the time I gradually invested in a few raid teams to level 75, my account was already level 90. So I thought, what better way to celebrate hitting level 90 than to go on a resource spending spree. I've saved up a lot of resources and I'm pretty keen to see how many characters I can gear up and just how far I can take them. Alright, with all that said, let's get into it. Now, before we start, let's have a quick look at my account to see what my roster looks like after 73 days playing. Keeping in mind, I've only invested in characters when I felt it was necessary. So, my total collection power is 1.9 million and my strongest team power is 468,000. I have 19 characters at level 75, gear tier 14. The rest were only invested into for either Dark Dimension 1 or Legendary events. Now, I'm not coming into this blindly upgrading characters until I hit a wall. I prepared a list of characters that I wanted to invest into and did a ridiculous amount of math to see what the best approach was. I don't want to ruin the outcome of the video, but I am going to say right now, I didn't take a single character to level 90. And let me explain why. Even though my account is level 90, I'm just over 2 months in. I'm in the middle of Dark Dimension 3 and my alliance has just started Doom raids. So I'm not at a stage where taking a character to level 90 would benefit me that much. I don't even have tier 17 gear. I barely have tier 16 gear. So with that said, what was my approach? Well, as I say in all of my videos, the number one priority for new players is to build raid teams. So with that in mind, the first team I invested into was the Extreme X-Men. Aside from being the current mutant raid team, they're overall just an amazing team. I use them in raids, war, crucible, dark dimension, and they're also really helpful in unlocking certain legendary characters. I just had enough teal uniques to take them all to level 85, gear tier 16, blue ISO level 2. Alright, moving along, and the next team I invested into was the Hive Mind team. Another great team, and being the current bio raid team, it was a no-brainer to take all of them to level 85, gear tier 16, blue ISO level 2. Thankfully, when Hive Mind was released, their event gave out a lot of teal alien spores as rewards. Otherwise, I have no idea how long it would have taken me to farm alien spores for all 3 characters. Next up is the tech raid team Pegasus, and here I wasn't so lucky with teal unique pieces, but I did manage to take Kestrel to level 85, gear tier 16, and the rest of them to level 80, gear tier 15, and I put blue ISO level 2 on the whole team. I'm going to leave them there for now until I need to invest more into them, as it's going to take me a while to farm their unique pieces anyway. So, apart from raid teams, there were a few other characters that I wanted to put some investment into. The other characters I took to level 85, gear tier 16 were Black Knight, Ghost Rider Robbie Reyes, Deathpool, and Kang. These 4 characters are part of my Dark Dimension teams, and I'll get good use out of them in other game modes too. To finish up, I took a few characters to level 65, gear tier 12, so I can start building teams to unlock certain legendary characters such as Red Hulk, Green Goblin Classic, and Black Cat. The characters I built up were Mockingbird, Ronan, Captain Carter, Tigra, Kraven, Archangel, Photon, and Ms. Marvel Hardlight. So that's over 100 million gold and almost 9,000 gold training materials invested. I increased my total collection power by 1 million and my strongest team power went up to 728k. I went from having 19 characters at level 75 gear tier 15 and a handful of characters at gear tier 12 to having 15 characters at level 85 gear tier 16, 4 characters at level 80 gear tier 15, and about a dozen characters at gear tier 12. So I wasn't able to widen my roster by much, but it got a lot taller. So with all the upgrading done, there's a couple of things I want to talk about. The first thing I want to talk about is how important it is to prepare and plan the upgrades you want to do to your roster. Let's look at the upgrades I just did as an example. Let's say I hadn't planned this out and I just started upgrading characters without thinking about it. I start off the same by upgrading Extreme X-Men to level 85 gear tier 16, but here I pivot. I decide to work on the newest raid team, the Spider Society. So I upgrade Ghost Rider and Spider Noir to say level 75 gear tier 14. Cool. Now, when I go to upgrade Hive Mind to level 85 gear tier 16, I realize I don't have enough superior alien spores anymore, as Ghost Spider takes the same unique as 3 of the Hive Mind team. And because I couldn't take Hive Mind to gear tier 16, my raid and Dark Dimension progress suffers. Or, let's say I get a little too excited about hitting level 90, and I just want to take Extreme X-Men and Hive Mind all the way to level 90, even though I can only equip gear tier 16. Now I've used over 2,500 gold training materials getting those 10 characters from level 85 to level 90. But in doing that, I haven't started working on the New Avengers or Sinister Six for Green Goblin Classic and Black Cat respectively, meaning I can't start building them for my legendary sections of Dark Dimension. And not having Black Cat in my arena team means I'll be owning less power cores every day. I know I'm rambling a little bit, but I hope I made my point. Preparing just a little bit can make a huge difference in the amount of time and resources saved. Okay, so the second thing I want to talk about is boosted accounts. Boosted accounts are a hot topic in Marvel Strike Force right now. Well, it's a hot topic in the Marvel Strike Force community. The developers haven't really said much, which is a massive concern. This issue needs a resolution, and in my opinion, it requires immediate attention. Every day that goes by is another day that a boosted account increases its advantage over a non-boosted account. I have alliance mates that have been playing a lot longer than I have and aren't even looking at gear tier 15, let alone 16. They're just completing Dark Dimension 2 while, after doing these upgrades, I'm halfway through Dark Dimension 4. There are a lot of advantages to having a boosted account, but the main advantage that I've found so far is the difference in power cores. But I don't mean the amount of power cores gained from Arena. What is the main thing that all new players use power cores for? Energy refreshes to level up faster. There are certain levels in this game that I would call breakpoints, where gaining that level opens up new content in the game. Level 50, level 60, 62, 65, 75, etc. Well, at level 75, you unlock the ability to put blue ISO 8 on your characters, which is required for higher level raids. And once I hit level 75, I only spent 50 cores a day for the web milestone, and I saved the rest. This meant that when Black Knight came out, I was able to use those cores to get him to 4 stars, while 90% of players that started around the same time as I did weren't even able to unlock him. And I've been doing this since I hit level 75. Even after using all my cores on Black Knight, I'm already back up to 16,000 cores, ready for when the next meta-defining character is released. And that is one of the biggest of many advantages a boosted account has over a non-boosted account. So I really hope Scopely does something about this soon, as, to be honest, I think it's an even bigger problem than most people realize. There are, however, a few issues I think Scopely would have to sort out if all players were to receive increased experience until level 90, the main one being the resources. My account might be level 90, but my roster is comically small. I've tried to be pretty efficient when it comes to investing in characters, and after that spending spree, I've already run out of key resources. Not to mention, I didn't have near enough resources to even think about taking characters to level 90. So come on Scopely, pull your fingers out, give everyone under level 90 increased experience, and start handing out low level gear like there's no tomorrow. Players are complaining everywhere, and meanwhile you're busy making character heads bigger for April Fools. Which is actually really cool, by the way, but that's not the point. This is a great game. Sort your issues out and do what's right for the players. Alright, I think that just about does it. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and share with your alliance. If you're not subscribed already, please consider subscribing, it really helps the channel out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.